Today's episode of The Rock Fight was made possible by support from Global Sales Guys. Global Sales Guys isn't your normal sales agency. With offices across the US and Europe and partnerships with retailers on 4 continents, GSG is your one-stop shop for brands looking to grow their presence in outdoor specialty shops worldwide. Brands like Van Deer, Red Bull, Nikki, Picture Organic, Kip Run Decathlon, Deluxe, Fubuki, and Gore-Tex all know that Global Sales Guys provide an innovative and full-service approach to delivering their brand's sales and marketing needs. Is your brand looking to break into the U.S. outdoor market? Is your retail shop looking for what's next? Then you need to be working with Global Sales Guys. And if you want to know what's next when it comes to outdoor running and action sports, specialty retail, Global Sales Guys is what's next. See for yourself what's next and get in touch with Global Sales Guys by heading to globalsalesguys.com today. Welcome to The Rock Fight, where we speak our truth, slay sacred cows, and sometimes agree to disagree. This is an outdoor podcast that aims for the head. I'm Colin True, and I have the pleasure of welcoming you all to the 2025 Rock Fight Awards. Joining me today to recognize the year that was for the outdoor industry are your favorite voices from the Rock Fight universe. We have the outdoor industry insider and consigliere to the Rock Fight, Owen Comerford. We have Gear Abbey herself, Shawnté Salabert, and the People's Champion, producer Dave. They're live in studio today. We'll also be hearing from Doug Schnitzbahn and a few other notable industry voices. But before we get to any of that, welcome to the Rock Fight Awards, guys. Good to see you all.
It's live in studio. That's a
your
metaphor?
Your tux, Colin, is really
not a rental.
Classy is the only word, really.
Yeah.
Yes, this
classy.
is yes. And Shawnté, who are you wearing today?
This is called clothes I've had on for 3 days because I needed a shirt that wasn't the sweaty shirt I wore on my trail run this morning.
Excellent. Also known as what you wear when writing a book.
It's also true.
Yes.
It smells great.
Well, today, guys, we'll be recognizing 15 outdoor industry entities, campaigns, and individuals, some for their good work, some for their not so good work, but all in the spirit of what was the outdoor industry in 2025. And before we get to the awards, maybe let's just go around the horn and talk for a minute about 2025. Owen, let's start with you. Thoughts on the year that was?
Well, I mean, thanks to our new administration, it's been a challenging year. We've had tariff turmoil, public lands under attack, dropping tourism, persistent inflation. Yeah, it's been quite the shit show. That said, though, I'd say outdoor retail has been surprisingly resilient, thanks primarily to our older and more affluent customer base, which is also probably going to be a problem as we look to growth in the future. But for now, actually, we're holding in there.
So we're thanking the skinny white guy in the mountain. Thank you, older skinny white guy in the mountain.
I see what you did there.
Older affluent skinny white guy.
Yeah, there we go. Okay,
specific subset.
Yes, if you're not affluent, get out of here. All right, the affluent is what we're looking for.
It's kind of the message these days.
Shawnté, what are your thoughts on 2025?
Oh, man. I think in addition to everything Owen just said, I think this is the year a lot of brands just punted on their DEI efforts, going back to the administration, obviously.
Just keeps getting better around
super great. So many fear tactics and so many people worried they'd lose funding or, get thrown into one of Trump's gulags. I have no idea, what everyone is so afraid of. But it turns out a lot of these brands weren't so committed to the other parts of the demographic, as it were.
I'll try not to insert any applause sound effects during that part of the podcast.
Oh, you can.
Dave, bring us out of this terrible mired the depression.
All I got to say is it over yet? Aren't we
Almost
done? We're getting there. Thank goodness.
But it was the year of Rock Fight, though.
That's
so
true.
if there's anything to come out of this year, I'd say it's
we were the
the Rock
positivity.
Fight of it.
Yes, we were.
Wow.
Yes, that was it.
Wow. If we're the positivity, things are we're in trouble.
The podcast named after literally throwing rocks at each other was the positive silver lining of the outdoor industry.
That's right.
Well, one thing for our listeners, I did want to announce preemptively that we've heard the feedback that hasn't happened yet, but we certainly will, for the 2026 Rock Fight Awards, add 2 new categories. Happy to announce this, break the news right now. We're going to add, next year, we'll add Sales Agency of the Year and also Retailer of the Year.
But
we
start
didn't
sucking
have
up now.
That's right. We started this process of nominees and winners about 36 hours ago, so we didn't quite have time to do the research for those two categories, but we will next year.
Because we're all about research here at the Rock Fight.
Research and advertising dollars.
Yes. If any of our winners would like to reach out for these special Rock Fights,
Gear Abby will also be looking for 2026.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a partnership. It's fine.
Right.
Okay, enough delaying what the people came here for. Let's hand out some awards. And presenting our first award for excellence in brand collaboration is our own Shawnté Salabert.
Oh my gosh, what an honor. So the outdoor industry sees a lot of collaborations every year, and each one seems to thrill the LinkedIn faithful, keyboard warriors. And this year, we saw brands like The North Face team up with Skims, Hoka partnered with Half Days, and in my mind, perhaps the weirdest collaboration of 25, Chaco partnering with Waffle House to make some splattered, scattered, smothered crossover sandals. Not making that up.
I don't know what's weird about that.
But yeah, we're going to say the winner, though, the 2025 collab of the year goes to Burton and Nara.
That's quite
yes.
Before we celebrate our winner, Dave, what in your mind makes for a good brand collaboration?
Oh, Colin. Good collaboration, I think, brings two maybe distinct and different audiences together, right? So the brands get to kind of expose their brand to a new group of people that might not normally see it. I think you want to create interest, something that is unique and didn't exist before, which is you can certainly say about Chaco and the Waffle House. I think those are the kind of things. And then, of course, sometimes they don't need to make sense necessarily in terms of exacting together. But I think if you kind of meet those two, then you can have a successful collaboration.
Owen, do you think Burton and Nara hit those metrics there that Dave just laid out?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was in this case of Nara, obviously bringing a very specific technology to play that makes it easier to go while you're out there skiing or snowboarding on the mountain.
You can say pee.
So, okay, pee. They're peeing. Yes, actually, one of my favorite things with Gigi is as part of a
founder of Nara.
Sorry, thank you. As a part of like a sales challenge, for everyone to try and get them over the hump for the quarter. If they hit their number, she does a live stream on the top of the mountain.
No pun intended.
No way.
Yes. So
all right, I was already a big Nara fan before hearing that story, but outdoor brands take notice. Like that's the kind of shit you got to do to like motivate your team. That's hilarious. Good for her.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So no, but I think it's also what I love about it is the big brand, little brand stuff. I think we could do with a lot more of those kinds of collaborations where the big brands are helping lift up the little brands, and also quite frankly the little brands are adding maybe a little bit of coolness, a little bit of a different new factor to the big established players.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see, and maybe it happens more than I know, but like it seems like if you're a smaller brand, like go for that collaboration, right? Because we talk a lot about like Shawnté mentioned, the North Face and Skims, and that's those are big names that you pair together and create a lot of opinion, and you kind of are fun to pick apart. But if you kind of bring something that's interesting and there's sort of a natural fit, this pairing is great, right? Just like you mentioned, the entrenched, Burton, old, our OG snowboarding brand, and the kind of the upstart with a borderline, not borderline. Nara is both a technology brand and an apparel brand.
Yeah,
so to combine those two things, go ahead, Shawnté.
Yeah, no, it's the innovation aspect that small brands can often bring that the larger brands sometimes don't have the capacity for because they're doing the things they do well. So I think in this case, I'm thinking about overalls, ski bibs, like snow bibs, that like going to the bathroom is truly impossible if you're wearing those. So it is such an exciting innovation. But yeah, I love small and big. I love that Owen brought that up. I think it's really important.
It's like snaps and zippers together again.
Aww.
By the way, the collab also included a base layer bottoms that also had the same kind of technology. So yeah, I mean, it'd be a little pointless to take that off and then you still have to worry about your base layer. So it all went together.
It goes all the way in.
I know NARA didn't launch in the last year, but earlier today, Owen and I were doing an interview, and they asked us what we thought our favorite outdoor innovation of the year was. And I still think, the NARA P Zipper is the best new technology that's come out in a long time, because it's just
until someone knocks them off the pedestal, they can just keep that.
Anytime you are smacking your head, going, "Duh, why hasn't it been like this before?"
Mm-hmm.
That's a pretty fucking good innovation. So, congratulations to Burton and NARA.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our next award is the Chip Wilson Self-Inflicted Wound Award, a.k.a. the biggest brand boner. And Owen, the floor is yours to present this award.
Thank you, Colin. Again, honored to be here. Sometimes outdoor brands, retailers, and media companies, they just can't help themselves. And while we here at The Rock Fight love anyone who takes a big swing, occasionally that ends up being a big swing and miss. And those misses are what we like to call self-inflicted wounds, or to put it more crassly, a brand boner. So we have a few this year. Just one, just from a purely symmetrical point of view, is Columbia suing Columbia.
That was Shawnté's nominee back in the summer.
Yes.
Love that one. Yes.
That was Columbia, the brand, suing Columbia, the university.
Yeah. That was this year, yes.
Wow.
This has been a very long year, Dave.
Yeah. If you said that, I would have said, 1936. Man.
They probably did it then, too.
Fair enough.
Outside the company, probably could have won by through sheer volume. I think in terms of the various brand boners. I think the editorial pushback though was probably the big one there. Some might argue that REI would win because they supported the Doug Burnham Secretary of State nomination. But our winner, really,
hold on, but REI they pulled themselves out of contention.
They did
because they actually took a cold shower and their boner went away. So,
oh really? Okay.
Colin likes to bring the thunder.
Why do you pull me into these things?
Were you going to say why do you pull that out?
That's more me trolling Shawnté, so she tries to one up me.
Just to disturb Owen. Yes, it's all cyclical. Aren't you glad you have me here to break up the rodeo?
Sorry, you were going to announce the winner.
So great. Yes. But the winner, and really there couldn't be any other winner than Arc'teryx blowing up the Himalaya. I mean, come on. It was spectacular, quite frankly.
It really was.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
As soon as that happened, this competition was over, right? I mean, how do you it hit all the marks that you want out of a brand boner. It was like poorly thought out, well executed, even though it was completely poorly thought out.
Yeah.
No, it has multiple layers. I mean, we focus on the explosions themselves, but the PR response afterward was pretty spectacular in its own right of just throwing the team under the bus, right?
It was environmentally irresponsible, although they did pull out salt licks. Let's not forget the salt licks.
Oh, never forget.
to lure away the animals.
No, yes, right.
And classic, the $1 billion company form, it was over in about 10 seconds and nobody cared a week later.
That's right. That's right.
But congrats to Arc'teryx. Well done. Well done, everybody over there.
Bravo.
All right, we have a special award now from friend and contributor to the Rock Fight, Doug Schnitzbahn. He's here to hand out our next award, the Open Container Award for Excellence in the Outdoor Community.
Hey there, Rock Fighters. This is Doug Schnitzbahn. I am here to present the Open Container Award for Excellence in the Outdoor Community. When looking beyond the outdoor industry and at our outdoor community, there was one name in 2025 who deserves to be recognized, and that is Caroline Gleich. Caroline stepped up and took on the thankless job of running as the Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate in the very red state of Utah. She may have lost, but she brought not just issues that matter to the outdoor community to the forefront, she proved that the leadership and compassion learned as a lover of the outdoors deserves a place in the national conversation in the future. And she has continued that work in 2025, rallying tens of thousands of signatures to help save public lands, giving a voice to conservation, and speaking up when far too many others in the outdoor space have been far too quiet. Keep kicking ass, Caroline. You deserve to be this year's winner of the Open Container Award for Excellence in the Outdoor Community.
All right, from Arc'teryx to Caroline Gleich, guys.
We brought it back.
We did.
Very soul-affirming. No, Caroline's amazing. I've talked to her a lot over the years. I actually was a guest on her podcast once. She's a great example, I think, of somebody who just stands up for, like, does the work. She shows up. She's not worried about being perfect. She talks about when she does make mistakes, both, she's talked about it in the mountains and in this arena, and she gets a lot of shit for it. Like, Caroline might be the most harassed person in the outdoor sphere, to be honest.
For sure. Yeah. She for sure is. Yeah.
Oh, I think we have a category for next year.
You don't want to be in that category.
We'll have her present it.
But it still should be acknowledged and understood.
Caroline, come on and present the award next year.
Yeah, right.
All right. Well, thanks to Doug for bestowing such an honor on the amazing, inspirational Caroline Gleich. Our next award I'm going to be presenting, it's for another individual who worked hard this year to make sure their voice was heard. Maybe worked a little too hard, and this is the award for excellence in overexposure. So when we're talking about overexposure, we're talking about those voices that tend to crop up a lot, on places like LinkedIn. The people who are always at the outdoor event, no matter what it is, they are showing up. And yes, I would say that everyone on this podcast right now was a nominee this year, for sure.
Thank you.
We have not yet overstayed our welcome, but we're getting close.
We're gonna just teeter at the edge for a while.
There we go.
We also, another nominee, I think someone we could talk about would be our friend Wes Allen, friend of the pod. He's Wes goes dark on occasion, but then he'll just come off the top rope on LinkedIn with just a scathing review of something or pointing something out. So, well done, Wes. You're definitely working hard to overexpose yourself. Hasn't happened quite yet, though, because I'm going to announce the winner. But any other nominees, anybody else you could think of who deserve mention in this case?
Oh, I think there's just only one clear choice.
There can only be one. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Much like the Highlander, yes, there can only be one. And the award for excellence in outdoor industry overexposure goes to the mayor of the outdoor industry, Lloyd Vogel. Congratulations to Garage Grown Gear's Lloyd Vogel, this year's
GGG
winner of the Overexposure Award. And actually, we do have an acceptance speech from Lloyd, and I'll happily... I guess I could have kept sharing my screen.
Because he needed more exposure.
Never enough.
I'd like to accept this award with both gratitude and shame. And I'd like to commend the outdoor industry for making a bold decision to temporarily stop listening to boomers tell it what to do and let a white male millennial take a turn instead. It's really huge progress, truly transformative for the industry's DEI work. And sorry, Owen, not trying to steal your gig. After spending roughly half the year in convention centers, it's an honor to be the overexposed winner in the outdoor industry and simultaneously be a complete stranger to my 15-month-old. Clearly, my priorities are in the right space, and I look forward to earning this award again in 2026.
Well done, Lloyd.
Aw, we love classic. Lloyd. He feels like the honorary member of the Rock Fight.
Certainly the overexposed one, right?
He definitely. We know there are several Lloyds around the country. They stash Lloyd in different markets.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, congrats, Lloyd. Good luck in 2026. I think you're going to have some competition as we bring more attention to the industry and the voices in the industry. So let's move on now to more brand and product-focused categories with our next presenter, Producer Dave, who will be handing out the 2025 Outdoor Category of the Year Award.
All right. As we look at the landscape of kind of the segmentation that makes up the topics we talk about, we put them into nice vertical categories. And it helps us organize our thoughts and our products and the wall itself. But this year, there really was a runaway winner. But before we hand that out, let's just kind of talk about some of the other categories that were kind of carrying momentum heading into 2026. So anybody want to kind of bring one up here to talk about?
I think there's several. Yeah. There's some folks. They get some attention.
Right.
I've heard more about bike packing lately.
Yeah, hiking, always a hot topic. I'm not biased.
Well, lifestyle. I mean, let's face it. Lifestyle is basically what really keeps this industry in business, and I think it also keeps us in business.
We should lobby to change the name from outdoor industry to lifestyle industry and see how people react to it. I think they'd be fine with it.
I don't think they'd notice.
Yeah. Indoor rock climbing continues to grow.
Right.
True.
I do want to point out, Shawnté mentioned hiking. I still feel like it's like the biggest sport in our category that nobody's really just owning right now. Still an opportunity. Owen, you predicted that last year. Yeah.
Colin, I mean, we didn't bring up gravel.
Oh,
Where's gravel?
Gravel what?
Colin loves
Just
gravel.
gravel.
Any
No,
gravel.
just
Gravel
gravel.
biking,
Category.
gravel
Doesn't
running.
matter.
It's true.
Right?
It's true. Landscaping, gravel,
Smooth gravel,
Pea
jagged.
gravel.
That's right. There you go.
So many
There you go.
Yeah, decomposed
Nice.
granite gravel.
Nice marble. River rock is a nice one.
We like to talk about materials.
But look, let's not pretend that we don't know who the winner is this year. The 2025 category of the year has to go to trail running. Of course it is, right? I mean, it is still the hot category. Report last year put it around $14 to $20 billion lifestyle market. I mean, it is going up. People purchase 1 to 3 pairs of shoes a year. That's keeping the engine going, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. So
Also, it's the most overexposed product category.
that's right. Hey, can Lloyd Vogel be a category?
I think he just became one.
Everyone gets like a cardboard cutout to put
That's
in their store.
fantastic. Nice. Oh, see, okay,
Right.
I'm in.
No,
I'm in.
Dave, you're spot on. I mean, it's like trail running. What has had a bigger moment? I mean, where there's now TrailCon. Every brand has a trail running brand, a trail running product. Whether no matter what else you make, it seems like here's our trail running shoe. I'll never forget being at OMA media event with Owen this year and just sort of rounding the corner and just like, there's another trail running shoe by another brand. I hadn't seen that one before. So
It took both hands to count all the trail running brands that were new this year.
don't know if it's sort of a trail running bubble that we're in. It's got to pop like the AI bubble is expected to, but it definitely was the category of 2025. Owen, any thoughts on trail running that you haven't said already?
Well, no, it's just that not to get too far ahead of ourselves on the predictions, but one of the things I was talking about was, will 2026 be the year of trailcore, like Gorpcore and that kind of thing, like
I like that.
trailcore as a fashion influence? We'll see it in, luggier shoes and all this other stuff. But then I'm thinking, like, what exactly would that look like? I mean, are we talking short shorts, wearing short shorts?
Look
It's
like
just
Ben.
Satisfy. Like, look at Satisfy's line and then translate that to Forever 21.
All right.
For sure, for sure.
Let's say it would look like Bend. That's what we will get.
If trail running were here to accept, who would it be, or what would it look like? Just be a shoe.
Would it just be
It's a giant shoe with arms.
just a blister?
No, it'd be a $300 price point.
That's acceptable now. It's fine.
That's right.
Rock Fighters, the air is cold and the trail is beckoning, and Lems is ready to move with you. Lems has new shoes like the Trailblazer Mid, the Mighty Trail Thrasher, and the insulated Breck boot. Put on your Lems boots and get ready to get outside for the season ahead. And attention outdoor retailers, Lems recently expanded their wholesale sales team. If you want to meet with your new local rep, you send an email to Colo, that's COLO, at lemsshoes.com. Just make sure you tell them that the Rock Fight sent you. Lems, where less equals more. This one is for all the gear makers out there. The biggest barrier for killer new products is sourcing the right fabrics. Working with mills is a pain, and too often you get stuck with whatever sort of fits. Well, what if we told you there was a partner who works with you to design, source, and curate fabrics that enhance your product line? That partner? It's Ripstop by the Roll. Ripstop by the Roll is your one-stop shop for the perfect fabric solution to your next hit piece of gear. These guys handle the headaches and will work with you to develop or find the right solution from yarn to finished fabric to fit your design. They have the application experts and production partners that make your job easy. From cottage companies and garage-grown gear to 8-figure brands at REI, they've been around, they know what they're doing, and Ripstop by the Roll simply wants to help you build the best products. Are you looking to source globally? Done. Want to find something domestically? They got you. Are you ready to learn more? Head to ripstopbytheroll.com to connect today. Fjallraven isn't here to conquer mountains, tame rivers, or beat the weather. We are here to go slowly, to tread carefully and cherish the visit. For us, the outdoor experience has never been a race to victory. It's an ongoing journey to create equipment and memories that last for generations to come. Our mission is to inspire more people to move with nature, and we do this by developing durable and functional equipment that never goes out of fashion. What we really want is to make it easier for people to enjoy spending time in nature on nature's terms. This is our passion, so let's use our vast experience and competence to help more people feel at home in nature. Because when they do, they will take greater care of it. Get started on your Fjallraven journey by heading to fjallraven.com today. All right, well, moving along. In the outdoor industry, or any industry for that matter, not every idea lands the way it was conceived. So, Shawnté, can you please present the WTF product of the year?
Oh, yes, I can. It is truly my pleasure to say it's inevitable that at least a few times a year you're going to be doom scrolling Instagram and your little disassociative session is going to be stopped in its tracks by a promoted product that just literally breaks your brain. The kind of thing that makes you stop and ask, why? So let's talk. There's a couple things. That's exactly how I say it, by the way. Why?
No, that's the appropriate way to say it when you're doing what you're describing.
Yeah,
It's
a little bit of ASMR.
Why?
A little
Why
bit of
again?
What? So we already talked about Choco and Waffle House, which
That is
truly,
a why.
I want to
for
see
sure.
Owen in a pair of those.
Dave may not think so, but it is a why.
I think you guys are missing the obvious point. It's Choco and it's Waffle House.
Come on.
What more do you need?
Okay.
If
very
when you look at
popular
collabs,
things.
is there a winner and a loser there? And is Waffle House the winner and
I
Choco
think
the loser?
Waffle
Like,
House
wow,
is well, you know what?
Look,
No.
my only issue is they didn't take it far enough. I would have liked to have seen the whole Waffle House pressed into the topsole there, like you get when you order a waffle.
Like maybe
No,
edible
what
uppers.
What I want to see is the viral video of the Waffle House employee taking off their Waffle House Choco and whipping it at a customer.
Now,
That's what I want to see.
There
yeah,
you go.
maybe in
That's right.
2026. There
There are some amazing
It's inevitable.
reels and TikToks out there of some things going down at Waffle House. So
There really are. Waffle House. I used to live in the South, and it was truly a place for all the people.
it's a scene.
It really is.
All the people and 2:30 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Did you guys ever? George Webb was my Waffle House growing up in Milwaukee. It was the Midwestern Waffle House. So, in case anybody out there wants to represent, but we had a few other WTF products that came to mind. Colin's going to disagree with me on this, but I will say the Satisfy arm chaps that I saw at TRE. I love them.
I'd be
I'm
more
confused by
critical
them.
from if it was any other brand, but I feel like Satisfy kind of works.
I
but
mean, it
yeah,
does.
arm
You're
chaps.
right. Yeah,
I still can't picture a world where I'm wearing arm chaps.
There's arm chaps. What
No.
about leg chaps? Because 3 full gear makes rain chaps for your legs. So, your crotch is going to get wet, but nothing else will.
Colin, so hold on just a second, Colin. I just want you to know those arm chaps go with overalls.
Ooh.
So I think you could really
if you
pull that
got
together.
a Nara Livson overall with arm chaps.
Oh, see, now we're
Before you
And-
get
now we're
sanding the overalls, I
WTF.
might be in board with
And
it.
you know
that
what
might
you
be
could
how you
wear?
get me there.
Listen, on your feet, if you don't want to wear the Chacos, Satisfying Crocs did a collaboration this year, so you could be styling on your feet. But
Satisfied is really going for it in 2025,
They are.
right? There's everything, no bad ideas at Satisfy HQ.
I love it. Just roll with it.
None.
But we have to give an award here. So in the time-honored tradition of the Merrill Hydro Mach 18 Neo GTX times Burton Mine 77 booties, I'm happy to present the WTF product of the year to the Merrill Hot Mach 2 1 TRL times Côte Estienne. That's right. You guys look at that's how you have to say it, by the way. I think that's probably
Yes.
in their brand specs. But you've seen this thing, right? Like, what if there was a word you'd use to describe it? What would it be?
Wow.
It looks
I
like
mean,
somebody took a dump on top of a shoe. I don't know. I don't know.
or you just stepped into very deep piles. It's like, first of all, listeners, those are both real shoes that Shawnté just
didn't make
read.
them up.
In 2024, we did an episode handing out the ugliest shoe of the year award or something like that, which was that original Merrill, and this new one is keeping with that tradition. And it definitely, Shawnté, to your point, it makes you stop and go, why?
Why?
Just why? Who is the person who comes across either of those and goes, oh yeah,
Yeah,
I gotta
know.
get a
I
pair
know
of
what
those.
I need a pair. I just want my foot to look like it's encased in meringue. Like that's basically like
Well,
all-terrain
when you put
meringue.
it that way,
Yeah.
all-terrain meringue. See, now that's a good product story.
Listen,
Was there a Dune collaboration where maybe it works a little better? Could that
with
have been,
Zendaya, Zendaya could be wearing it.
right? Maybe she breaks her on contract to promote the Merrill Dune shoes. I don't know.
One can dream.
Well, congrats, Merrill, on having the 2 years running Ugliest Shoe Award and the WTF Product of the Year. Now, we spend a lot of time talking about new and emerging brands on this show. And Owen, can you please honor our favorite new brand of 2025?
We've had kind of a tough time here defining what is an emerging brand, right? Because is it a brand that just launched? Is it one that isn't profitable? That would be quite a large group. And we've never kind of really settled on an answer. But what we're going to talk about is maybe some new-ish brands or newish brands to the U.S. market. Yes, we're being American-centric here. Sorry, that caught our attention over the last year. So, like a few of the ones that I think we chatted about. One is Mount to Coast,
Yeah.
which seems to basically have come out of nowhere to, kind of take over the trail running world. We actually named them as a top trail running brand here on this very podcast. Sam Bob, which lives more in Shawnté's world of ultralight backpacking type of apparel-y stuff, and is named after Sam Roberts, I guess, is who made it. Berghaus, which obviously been around for a long time, not really an emerging brand, but is making a re-entry into the U.S. market. And then Tantrums, a really cool running brand known for their running vest that had an awesome booth at TRE. And then any other brands you guys want to throw out?
Is Shawnté, anyone you want to highlight from the GGG world while we have this opportunity?
Oh no! I mean, I do think Sam Bob's having a year. I thought I would have named Sam Bob as well.
They were doing alpha before it was cool.
They really were, and they do customs, and I think that's the big thing that started with Sam Bob. Like that started setting them apart. Now there's other places that will do custom, but I think Sam Bob is the OG, and Sam himself is such a nice dude.
They're like the alpha version of Melanzana.
Yes, absolutely.
For our winner this year, we really wanted to go with a brand that actually did truly launch last year and brought a new and interesting product to the industry that I've had a chance to use and is great. And also that have founders that have a long heritage of actually bringing brands and products to the industry. That winner of the 2025 Newcomer or Emerging Brand of the Year goes to Packfire.
Yeah, Packfire.
Right on. Yeah, I love what they did. I love a portable. I think there were other kind of portable fire pits, but they were like flat pack things. This is a really amazing 3D.
I mean, this is a real smokeless. It has all of the features of your kind of backyard smokeless fire pit, but it comes in a handy dandy backpack. By the way, the whole thing it's very well thought out, very well put together. Just a cool idea, I think.
Yeah, we saw this for the first time at GOA Connect at the Discovery Marketplace at the Reno one in June. Right. And it just, again, like we talk a lot about how there's no a lot of really good technologies and innovation. This is a great innovation. It's like, let's take a thing, make it simpler, make it easier if you want to take up firing, car camping, whatever it is. It just folds flat. And just one of those, when you see it demonstrated, you're immediately like, oh, that's cool. I want one of those. Like just it's a great idea. And obviously I don't know if it's an emerging market or if it's just how high the ceiling is for, portable, fire rings, but I think I could see this becoming a staple in a lot of people's kits when they go car camping. So, and to your point, it's a lot of industry, veterans on that team. So yeah, I love Pack, but I loved what Packfire did. All right, our next award. So newer listeners may not recall the time that we caused a stir in the outdoor industry by designating some well-known and loved outdoors players, and we called them zombie brands. And a zombie brand is a well-known or influential brand that has strayed from what made them well-known or influential and lost most of its clout, but they don't die or go out of business. They hang around on the backs of their name in deep consumer discounts, not quite dead, but not quite thriving either. And they are the zombies of our space. So other notables for the zombie brands as we look at 2025, Marmot was the one we spoke about the most in the past. But if I look back, Prana is one that we mentioned was probably a candidate to be a zombie brand given where they were going and how they were sort of the outcast within the Columbia ecosystem. Now, as we learned at the running event, they may have inoculated themselves, but with a rebrand that is coming, according to some things we heard there.
Yeah.
Choco, we've alluded in the past, might be a zombie brand. I don't know if the Waffle House collab strengthens the case for zombie-ness, or Dave, does it make them a little more likely to not be a zombie brand? What does the Waffle House thing do for you?
I don't think we can consider them into this year's category. They are. They already were in last year's adjacent, and I don't think they've done anything necessarily to reanimate themselves.
Yeah. We have mentioned Sierra Designs in the past. I've heard from other people who say we give Marmot too much heat when Sierra Designs deserves just as much, and that is accurate.
Right. Yeah, fair.
Look, a newcomer, our friends at Fitz. Look, I'm
Aw.
sorry, they are a sponsor, the
Colin.
previous sponsor of the pod, but just kind of tracking them. It's been a lot of discounts, a lot of just seeming like they were on a good trajectory, and it kind of feels like it's going the other way as of late. And I don't want to say that. I love Fitz. I wore
I'm wearing them
Fitz
right
yesterday.
now.
Great brand,
Me
but
too.
like it's a slippery slope. But before you know it, you could be a zombie and not even realize it.
That hurts.
But the winner of the 2025.
Oh, I think there's one more. We should do one more before you go.
What do you got?
One more as kind of category, and I think we don't talk about it too much because it's kind of outdoor adjacent. But the surf brands, Quicksilver, Billabong, all of them collectively just seem to be zombieing along.
They're a horde, I think. Dave,
It's
is
a
the technical
horde.
term.
That's right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
Well, the winner of the 2025 newest member of the outdoor zombie horde goes to Spider.
Ah, yes.
Now,
Yes.
here's some reasons why we're gonna put Spider in the horde. So it's a classic tale. The brand was founded in 1978. They have a huge history in the ski industry. They sponsored athletes like Tommy Moe and Peekaboo Street. Tons of credibility in that space. Spider was a very cool brand to wear if you are a snow sports enthusiast. 2013, step one towards Zombieland here, right? They sell to Authentic Brands, okay? Who then also licensed it to Lee and Fung. That's not a good place to be. You don't want to
Not
be
a good
there.
combo.
No. Now, you could argue that Spider was a zombie for a long time, but the final moment, I feel, where it truly succumbed to the zombie brand virus, and this is why it's this year's winner, because it came earlier this year when Liberated Brands, who had Spider's license, filed for bankruptcy. Somehow they're still around, Spider. I mean, I'm not sure who's managing it, what's happening over there. If you're there and you want to contest this award, reach out to us, myrockfight@gmail.com. But I feel pretty solidly that, Spider, you're in the horde.
I mean, if we're using the amount of assortment found at my local Sierra as a vote,
And maybe Costco?
Definitely, maybe, I don't know. But then Spider definitely wins.
Yeah. It's sad. I mean, I didn't know when they were founded when I was doing a little research on this. In 78, they're right in there with the Marmots, North Face, Patagonia, Timberlands, all these guys. And, it's the way it goes
Absolutely.
sometimes.
Storied brand, yeah.
Well, guys, so much of what works and doesn't work in the outdoor industry comes back to branding. So, producer Dave, this is your wheelhouse. Can you please present the Brief Award for Creative Excellence?
Every reward is excellent. You realize that. This is starting to sound like the Bill and Ted
I just called spending
awards.
10 minutes talking about Spider as a zombie.
Okay, the teleprompter is moving a little fast for me. I can't really get... outdoor brands are famous for playing the hits in their creative endeavors. So much so that one of Rockfight's core tenets is no wagon wheel. It's words to live by. The upside of this is the lack of creativity is that when something is different and comes along, it hits even harder. It definitely stands out. And this year we had a few brands that were, kind of painting themselves in a new and distinct light and standing out. This year, I think we have actually three really good kind of nominees in this case, and obviously, I think there were more than that. You've heard us talk about Mammut, and they're not a streetwear brand campaign.
And Mountain Wear Rescue.
What's that?
Mountain Wear Rescue.
Yeah, it's actually not a streetwear; it's the campaign, and Mountain Rescue is an execution, tangent of that. But that's definitely the mockumentary featuring Katie Burrell and Lindsay Ham. We've talked about that on the brief, and a really great execution and a series that I think did break through the clutter. Another one I want to bring up is, and this is I've got a couple kind of versions of what they're doing, but Satisfy, just from a straight branding perspective, definitely has figured out kind of the combination to stand out. But they had two campaigns specifically that when they launched the Rocker shoe, their inaugural shoe, they basically turned a turnstile music video and dune buggy into a launch piece and that never even showed the shoe, but still managed to convey concepts of stability and traction and speed. So that's I think it's a really unique way to do that.
I've lost hours of my life to Satisfy's YouTube channel.
Yeah, and I have to say I would have ended with that, but the next piece they launched was the High Country Winter Collection, where they running through kind of the Western it's a combination of French running brand and Western cowboy, and it works. It's and they're beautiful short films. I recommend checking those out, but I think we've kind of all collectively landed on the one that you have to go with, and this year that would be Columbia and Engineered for Whatever. Do you agree?
Such a good campaign. Absolutely. I mean, didn't it, first of all, they rescued themselves from the brand boner category, probably.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, this was a redemption for them because it came afterwards. But I think about Columbia as one of those brands, being from Wisconsin, you'll go to Meijer's, which is a grocery store that also has clothing and also has a lot of random things in it, and you'll see Columbia stuff there. So you think of Columbia more as like, this is the everyday, like your mom wears a Columbia jacket.
Mid-market.
Yeah, I think they really challenged that perception with this campaign.
They did, and it caused, again, so just the straight awareness piece and getting people talking, but they also managed, I think, to do something that's really hard, and that is to be both unexpected and familiar at the same time. Unexpected and wow, Columbia did something like that, and familiar, and it really does kind of fit the Columbia DNA that they have traditionally done in their advertising. But they also backed it up with new creative pieces, one after the other, kind of doubling down on the absurdist lengths that they'll go to prove their functionality. And then into what I think is the piece de resistance, if you will, but it's the Tim Boyle challenge to give away the company to the first person to prove the Earth is flat, right? And that is just really a case study in how creative and PR can combine to generate heat from a story that they just made up from thin air, that then augments the regular product release cycle that you've got normally going on. So I think that's just, another way to look at this Engineered for Whatever concept.
What I liked about it was how they did continue it. I mean, I think if you look at it, loved what Mammut did, but it did kind of have like a pretty limited run for what it was doing. We talk about Satisfy, but that seems more of like just a brand direction than maybe a specific campaign. The fact that this came out turned the industry on its head. I mean, there was about a week where that's really all anyone was talking about. Then they kept rolling out different videos, different little product features, whatever it was. Halloween hits, we get Death as a sponsored athlete, with a Last Will and Testament
Right.
and the jacket, and then to your point, Dave, a couple of weeks ago we get the Tim Boyle piece. It seems that this is not just one campaign, but they are pivoting the brand a bit around this. Now, I don't know what that's going to mean to the product down the road and if it'll still be available at a Meijer, but it also, I don't know if it matters because I think by sticking to it, it might change the perception of what the Columbia brand is. And I just,
agreed.
Congrats to them for doing it. It's great. Well, Shawnté is going to present the next two awards as we look beyond the outdoor industry and consider the whole outdoor community. And first up is the Gear Abbey Golden Bidet Award for Consumer Education.
Yeah, so excited about this. So despite what it might sound like if you listen, Gear Abbey isn't just about Colin and I discussing bodily functions and wildlife mating habits. It's about sharing.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is. I'm going to pretend it is about sharing knowledge with other outdoorists. And in that spirit, the inaugural Gear Abbey Golden Bidet Award for Consumer Education goes to Coach from Virginia's own Marion Outdoors. If y'all follow them, their social media videos started appearing in my feed sometime in the past year, and each of them is this kind of beautiful, slightly manic little bundle of positive energy, product discovery, education, all bundled into one. And, a lot of it is Coach's delivery and the way he's highlighting all these things and what you could do with them. So I think we got to get him on the show at some point, at least over on Gear Abbey. I think he would be a fantastic resource for us.
Love that. Co-sign that for sure.
Thank you.
And next up, Shawnté is also going to present the Justin Hausman Memorial Rock Fighter Lifetime Achievement Award.
It's not funny, okay? This is a serious award, Colin.
It's very long, and I wrote it, but it still makes me laugh. Listen, Justin Hausman, important, crucial cog in the history of the rock fight.
That's right. I mean, Justin was the first co-host of the rock fight and my one-time editor at Adventure Journal. Love Justin. And none of us would be sitting here today without the time and love that he gave to help grow this podcast. So it's only fitting that the lifetime achievement is both named for Justin, but also that he gets to be the first one to receive it. So to accept, Justin actually sent in a voice memo, and here you go.
Well, what can I say? Thank you. Ironically, I haven't received any kind of award since junior high in the late 1990s when I was awarded least likely to be given a memorial award by an obscure outdoors podcast. Didn't even who would have known what a podcast was back in 1992 or whenever that was. But thank you. I'm honored. I'm humbled, and frankly, it's a shock that this podcast is going on without me. But good job, good job, Rock Fighters. Thanks for supporting the cause. Thanks for listening. And we'll see you out there on the trails with me grumping at you and yelling at you for doing something wrong, as always. Thank you.
Aww. That was perfect. Perfectly curmudgeonly and delightful.
Yes.
I miss Justin.
Don't we all? Moment of silence.
Moment of silence for Justin. And Owen now will also be presenting the next two awards. First up, some things just need to be mentioned in any conversation when it comes to the outdoor industry. So, Owen, will you please present the award for achievement in trade shows?
Absolutely. Before there were tariffs and trail running, there were trade shows. I think that's the 3 T's of 2025. But let's face it, we talk about trade shows a lot on this podcast, and newsflash, we probably will again in 2026 because a lot of stuff coming down the pipe. But that said, there were definitely a few trade shows that we went to this year that got a lot of love on the pod. So, let's start with GOA Connect. One of my personal favorites. It's a great show for what it is. We got the Discovery Marketplace, which I think made some great strides this year to be a more meaningful show there.
Probably our most consequential show. I mean, it just feels like there's real stakes attached to that show.
Totally. And the brands support it. The retailers support it. I mean, in terms of everyone is kind of in, and there's a real feeling of partnership at that show. Not the most dynamic show from an energy or excitement perspective, because it's all happening behind,
you know what they should do?
Curtains.
One of the days they should open up the curtains and have a happy hour that happens at the end of the day where everybody gets to see what's inside the booths.
That's right. The Wizard of Oz happy hour.
I think that's a great idea.
They should listen to us on this one. I think they should.
They really should. I think that's a great idea. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna send an email to Gabe right after this.
That's a good idea. Okay. I think you should. Yeah, thank you. Yes.
Another podcast, another trade show that we talked about a ton this year was the inaugural Switchback event, which I think we all agreed was for year one of a show went as well as you could have hoped. But I think only one show really, I think, hit the mark in so many different ways when it comes to energy, involvement, partnership, all of those things. And that is why the 2025 award for achievement in trade shows goes to the running event.
I mean, how can it not?
It was pretty spectacular. Right?
Yeah. It's a show that knows its why it exists. It's consequential to my point on GOA Connect, but it's, it kind of checks a lot of boxes for that space.
Trail running really gets to shine there.
I don't know. I detect recency bias.
Well, no, that's a fair point, Dave. But I do think it does all kind of bring it together. It brings the kind of the brand retailer partnership from GOA with the kind of the energy and the of the Switchback, and it all kind of comes together along with a great award show, by the way, at the end.
All right, and your second award, Owen, you're going to present the Rock Fight Listener Award.
Absolutely. The Rock Fight has some wonderful and so many engaged listeners that we're very thankful for here at the Rock Fight. Please give us that 5-star review. Thank you. But this past year, there was one who showed their dedication to never missing an episode by sending us a photo of himself listening to the pod in the middle of a climb up the Matterhorn. So congrats to Ben Ryan, the Rock Fight's Listener of the Year 2025. Now, true to form, when we reached out to Ben to see if he could send us a voice memo, he did from the fucking South Pole. So
truly incredible.
We're not making this up. We are not making this up. He actually one-upped himself, which I think is genius.
Well, even better, Owen. Before we even got that, we just got a a reply to sender email.
Right.
Yeah.
Right, that he was
Sorry.
on an expedition to the South Pole and had just summited.
That's right,
Mount,
out of
Mount
office.
Vincent. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
But somehow, and we got it via video as well, so he was confirmed he was like with Vincent in the background, but we did get a voice memo from Ben. So let's here's Ben's acceptance speech.
Hi, Colin, Dave, Consigliere Owen, calling in from Union Glacier Camp in Antarctica, just to make sure that I set the bar as high as possible for the next winner of the Remote Listener Award in 2026. Thanks so much for the award, but more importantly, thanks so much for a great podcast. It's the highlight of the week when I'm out climbing, trekking, running in the mountains. And it's great to get some industry news that's honest and doesn't mind taking a few shots and doesn't play too safe. So keep doing what you're doing. Looking forward to hearing more Rockfight in 2026.
Yeah, next year we're gonna need to get somebody like on the International Space Station.
Absolutely.
I mean,
Exactly.
Start planning.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Lloyd.
So if you're listening to us on the International Space Station, myrockfight
At gmail.com. Yes.
Okay, guys, it's time for the biggest awards of the evening. We have the Outdoor Industry Executive of the Year and the Brand of the Year. So, producer Dave, let's do it. Brand of the Year, let's do it. What do you got?
Wow. Well, we made 4 top 5 lists here on the Rock Fight this past year. We had footwear, apparel, accessories, and gear. And just looking at those 20 names on those lists was probably a good place to start when it comes to choosing our brand of the year. But after a bunch of internal discussions, navel gazing, popcorn, it became obvious that we had no choice but to pick, you guessed it, a trail running footwear brand. It just had to happen. We were powerless to not see it go through.
I do want to interject. I just heard from the nominating committee that Satisfy is going to be the one that's mentioned the most in this podcast without actually winning an award. So that's kind of an award of itself. So congrats to
Spoiler alert,
Satisfy.
you're not winning this award.
That's right. Yes, that's right. And you're out on this one too. So yeah.
This is like the
Wow.
Beyonce of the
So then who should have won it if we're giving it to a trail running brand?
Solomon?
Who should have?
Solomon.
Well,
That would've been the nice
we
thing
can't
to
give
do.
it
Would've been
to
the nice
Solomon.
thing.
We'd have to mention them.
So let's not do that.
All right. Sorry.
Burn.
They did have a good year.
They did. I mean, Rihanna was
know?
wearing Solomon's at the halftime show. I mean, come on.
I would say Arc'teryx too, even though they, the WTF, it just does seem, it just seems like they're kind of everywhere.
Well, about the WTF award, Merrell was one of our footwear brands,
right.
and they were
Right.
on the list. There was a
There you
lot of
go.
good names on the list. I think but it just, I don't know. I felt like it couldn't be one of the big established names, though, right?
Well, no, why not? I mean, look, Patagonia remains to stay in the news regardless of what's going on.
That's
They
true.
continue to
Mostly
be
because
top
Owen
of
keeps
mind.
mentioning them, but
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Sure. Throw me back under the bus, Colin.
I was just getting back in.
But they were not one of our top brands of the year.
That's
So,
true. Yeah. So,
Maybe next year.
Yeah.
Were they
always been
this year
extra Patagonia.
Solomon?
Who?
Were they this year's Solomon?
Who?
After Solomon?
Solomon was this year,
Right.
Solomon.
Right?
Well, who is the answer, Dave? Who was our brand of the year?
All right. Enough delay. The brand of the year for this year, which you want it, it's Norda.
Yeah.
It's Colin's
good
favorite
about. Do we
truck.
feel good about that?
Come on, Colin. This
Colin,
is for
this
you.
is all
Go.
you.
Let's go.
I mean-
Well, I like Norda. I thought we all like Norda.
We all
Are we
like
all Norda
Norda.
fans?
I've never
Tell us
tried
why
them,
we
though.
like Norda, Colin. You just can't lay it out there. Come on.
I think when we're looking at the brand of the year, it's not just about performance. It's about
Yeah.
the thoughtfulness behind the brand. I remember the first time I heard of Norda was actually Justin Hausman was at a footwear media event, and he came back. He's like, "Yeah, you gotta try this shoe Norda. Like they look so different for trail runners. They look so clean. It's a really amazing looking shoe, and I've never worn anything like it." And it's so rare these days. I feel like when you're dealing with outdoor products, that you get to have like an experience like that, where somebody would describe it that way. And I think that was my experience wearing them as well. Now, look, we know that the Mount DeCoste, the Satisfies, the Speedlands are all making really good product, and we're going to continue to talk about those, as well as the Topos and the Ultras and the Hokas and everybody else. But there's a little bit of a level up from Norda. And so when we're talking about brand of the year, and we're kind of looking at the 20 brands we had, and there was definitely some chalk picks on there, but mostly they really, to me, I felt like they stood apart in terms of like how they thought about their branding. This isn't just footwear or product of the year, right? This is brand of the year. And when if you line it up out of you can put a slide of all the brands we're talking about, I think Norda stands apart from the pack.
Yeah, I think they convinced people. Like, think about the price point of this shoe. It is a very high price point, but they did such a good job convincing people that, hey, listen, it's made to last. You're gonna love it. It's worth the money. And for people to actually fork over the money is a big deal because normally you could get 2 shoes for that price. So I think that to me is what really stands out about what they've done is they're so good at explaining their product and why it's special that people were like, take my money.
Well, so I thought of this award sort of similar to the Time Person of the Year type of award, which is to say it isn't always necessarily, you don't always get it for all the right reasons. Like I think Hitler was on the cover at one time. I think Donald Trump has been on the cover. Enough said.
So we got P. Diddy, Hitler, Trump,
all the hits.
So really, why Norda got my vote was because they do sort of encapsulate a little bit of where we are as an industry right now.
Right.
The trail running of it all. Obviously, we've gone on ad nauseum about that, but also the price point of it all. Right. I mean, we're talking, their shoes start at $300 and go up. Right. And so to me, it just kind of encapsulates where we are as an industry, both good and bad in some ways.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point in terms of encapsulating where the industry is. I mean, they're partially owned by Xenia, right? So, and which has just increased their investment in that. So they clearly see it.
Different than Zendaya.
What?
Different than Zendaya.
And different than Zendaya, too, as well.
You get for brand of the year, we are just crapping all over their Cheerios.
No, they're still brand of the year.
We just compared them to the Hitler Time cover.
I didn't. That was purely Owen.
Oh my God! We're talking about a brand that has elevated the fashion sensibility and style.
And we met those guys. They have a sense of humor.
Yeah,
they have created a silhouette too. I think. Look.
Yeah. For sure.
All these trail running brands have come out. Some of them are going to shake out, just like any kind of market does. Yeah. Norda seems, positioned to kind of weather that and elevate. I do think they helped create this kind of silhouette look that everybody seems to be kind of coalescing around. So there might be some kind of origin ownership of that. And like we said, the product is just spectacular in its own right. It really is a brand statement unto itself.
But no, congrats to Norda. Seriously, I mean, all joking aside, very cool brand. And this was not of all of these awards, a lot of these kind of were pretty simple, I think, for us to kind of pick out who we wanted to discuss. When we look back on our 20 brands, who we did, Owen kind of printed them all like, hey, here's the 20. It was like, man, how do we choose from this? And I think when you kind of really peel it back, I feel like we made the right choice. Or the voting committee did. I don't know who those people are. They're anonymous.
That's right.
Okay, guys, let's wrap this up with our biggest award of the evening, the Outdoor Industry Executive of the Year. And when it comes to honoring the Outdoor Industry Executive of the Year, we looked at things like who the person is, their role in the company, how they show up in the industry and outdoor community. And this past year was a tough one, like we talked about at the top, right? Tariffs, uncertainty. And though we wanted to recognize someone who was also a founder of their own brand, there were definitely some great names to consider. People we spoke to actually on the pod this year. We had a lot of great names come join us in the pod. Some great leaders, folks who were definitely worthy of this title. Folks like we had Troy Sykott from Mountain Hardware who joined us at the live event in Nashville. More recently, we had Tony Post and Amy Beck. Matt Sutton from Columbia joined us on the pod. Travis Campbell from Eagle Creek. So we had some really impressive names. Nathan Dopp. But when we thought about it, one name really rose to the top. Now, before I get to the winner, any thoughts on what makes up who we want to on the category of
it seems the only criteria is that they appeared on the podcast.
Yes.
To be okay. I'm just checking, making sure that.
And next year's criteria is that they also have to advertise on the podcast.
Fair enough. Okay. All right. This is pay to play, baby. Right.
We're gonna go full Golden Globes, pay to play. We're gonna do it at night, right. So Owen's drinking wine. It'll be great next year.
The foreign press has spoken.
That's right.
Because they have to supply us with logo with our logo on their merch.
Oh my God!
Well, probably should get its own category. Frankly,
that's a good point. Yeah, and actually, I think about our winner has been on the pod before too. So, but that wasn't the only reason.
Dirty little secret.
No, but any thoughts on what makes up Executive of the Year?
The reason why there's that overlap, Colin, is because we bring the best and brightest onto the pod, and only those that really are making an impact. So that's why there's that intersection.
Agreed. That's what's
That's a
happening.
good cover. That's a good cover. Well done.
And apologies to all of those who were also on the pod and we didn't mention your name. There wasn't
You're still
anything.
special.
You're still special. But when we did think about it and we kind of put all the total criteria out there, there was really one name that rose to the top. This person is the founder of their brand. They were a vocal advocate for the industry and their brand during the worst parts of the tariff conversation. And their brand on its own merits is something the industry desperately needs. So the Rockfight Industry Executive of the Year for 2025 is Wild Rise, Cassie Abel.
Woo, yes.
And Cassie also sent us an acceptance speech. So let's hear from Cassie.
Holy shit. Wow. Am I allowed to use adult language here? I think so. Anyways, I just want to say a huge thank you to the Rockfight team, and more than anything to my own team at Wild Rye. I can't tell you how many times I've leaned on my right and left-hand women to prop me up and keep me sane. This year has been the highest of the highs and the lowest of the lows. And honestly, the fact that we made it to almost the end of the year is something worth celebrating within itself. I'm also very grateful to be in an industry that I feel like has given me a giant bear hug this year. I mean, the number of industry events I've gone to and leaders I admire have, literally and figuratively wrapped their arms around me and found ways to support. This industry is incredible. And as one of my favorite and most impactful mentors says all the time, business is a team sport, and I am grateful to be on a team with this whole industry. So thank you so much, and here's to hopefully more normal 2026.
Aww. You think one of those industry leaders hugging her at an event was Lloyd Vogel?
Yes.
Every event, yes.
When I think of bear hug, I think of Lloyd Vogel.
Listen, Cassie's the best. That was great. Do you want to talk, Shawnté, about Wild Rye in general and what that brand means?
Wild Rye is amazing. I interviewed Cassie years ago for a story for AJ Print, and it was a story about how women-founded brands were, breaking through, but what a difficult uphill climb it is, because one of the things that we talked about is getting capital. Getting capital is very difficult, and it is something that women-owned brands continue to struggle with because there is still a lot of inherent old boys club in places where there's money. So I think Cassie, even back then, her spirit was incredible. The products she creates are spectacular, and they don't dumb down women's experience in the outdoors. I think she elevates what we can, the way we get to present ourselves, the way we get to feel in the clothing we wear when we're doing the things we love. So I think it's badass that she does Women-Led Wednesdays. She is a true champion for not just her company, but the cause as a whole. And Cassie's a badass.
Oh, you work with Cassie a bit, don't you?
I'm an investor in Wild Rye, yeah, and get to work with Cassie. She's
not
amazing.
Why they won. Not why they won.
No, no. But people that might not know, Cassie was actually part of the delegation that went to Washington to lobby for a lot of the things that are important to our industry. So she took that time. She and Wild Rye were part of the case that's going to the Supreme Court about the legality of the Trump tariffs, and Cassie is just there for everybody. I mean, I'll talk to a founder or an emerging brand in the industry, and I'll bring up Cassie, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, Cassie's the best. She's helped me this way, that way, the other way." I mean, I don't know how she does it all, quite frankly, with all of that stuff. Helping all these other brands that are out there, and running an emerging business. It's and being a mom, right? I mean, it's a lot. So just kudos to Cassie just for being just the ultimate badass.
Yeah, she's truly like one of us, right? On the outdoor side. I called her recently about a Gear Abbey idea, actually, and immediately she's like, yes-anding ideas. And we could do this, we could do that, without even it was like a cold call. Hey, I have this idea. What do you think? And she immediately was on board and how could we even make it better? It was great. Dave, what do you got about Wild Rye?
I think they make a great bourbon. It's fantastic. I think in a women-owned distillery like that, great.
Way to bring us back, Dave.
Well, Rock Fighters, that's a wrap on the 2025 Rock Fight Awards. Any thoughts from our presenters? How we did? Do we think we got something ready? We got something here with our awards?
That'll be debatable. It'll probably take us a full year to figure that out.
Yeah, we have 12 months to figure out the format.
We'll see what the LinkedIn comments say.
Oh, no, don't do that.
All right, well, we have 12 months to improve on the format, and we'll do it better next year. We'll add categories, retailer of the year.
And the hardware.
Yeah, sales rep of the year, for sure. All right, well, that's it for the 2025 Rock Fight Awards and for 2025 in general. The Rock Fight will return on Monday, January 5th with our 2026 predictions episode, where we're going to basically just drill through Owen's predictions and probably mostly say why we agree with them. Maybe a few differences in there. I got a few other ideas, I think, and some of the things you said there, Owen, so we'll see how that goes.
Good. Owen, I want to ask right now, who will appear on the 2026 Time cover?
Ooh. Photographer Christopher Anderson.
Didn't they just announced the 2025 one, right?
Yeah, this is a prediction for next year. That's what I mean.
Prediction for next year.
Yeah, other uplifting stories like Vladimir Putin.
No, it's actually going to be Lloyd Vogel.
Well, that I can get behind that.
Hell yeah.
Lloyd Vogel goes global.
That's right.
Vogel,
That's right.
Global Vogel.
I love a global
Vogel. Wow. We're done here.
The Rock Fight is a production of Rock Fight LLC. Today's episode was produced by producer Dave with art direction provided by Sarah Gensert. For Shawnté Salabert and Owen Comerford, I'm Colin True. Thank you for listening. And here for the last time in 2025 is Krista Makes with the Rock Fight Fight song. We'll see you next time, Rock Fighters.
Do we have jingle bells?